THHE Engineering or THHE is undertaking a voluntary winding up 1 year after it was delisted from Bursa Malaysia. The offshore fabricator and shipbuilder said in a winding up notice dated today that it made the decision to shutter as it is unable to continue its operations due to liabilities. The notice stated that a meeting of creditors is scheduled for October 4th. THHE is controlled by the Ministry of Finance-owned unit Urus Harta Jamaah, which holds a 64.45% stake in the company prior to its delisting on September 5th, 2022. According to THHE's last annual report, other shareholders include Datuk Sri Muhammad Firdaus Muhammad Jakal and siblings Luqman and Muhammad Nizam, who collectively held 2.95% as at March 23, 2022. As at end June last year, THHE had capital deficiency of 210.87 million ringgit, with 393.14 million ringgit in total liabilities against 182.27 million ringgit in total assets, including a yard in Pulau Indah. The winding up marks the end of the company, which was previously known as Ramonia Holdings and one of the oil and gas industry darlings during the late 2000s boom. MyEG Services has denied illegally collecting fees for its foreign worker permit renewal services and said the claim made by a lawmaker is an opinion of his own. In a burst filing on Wednesday, the e-services provider clarified that there is and has been no misrepresentation by MyEG in the services available on its online platform, and that all services continue to be provided in accordance with the terms and conditions stipulated by the government. Kota Melaka MP Kupui Tiong had reportedly alleged in the Dewan Rakyat yesterday that MyEG's services contract with the Immigration Department had been suspended since February, yet it is still accepting fees for the services via its website. Neither Putrajaya nor MyEG have announced the extension of the firm's contract for processing foreign worker permits. Trading of MyEG securities was halted from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The counter ended the day 1.9% lower at 78 sen for a market capitalization of 5.83 billion ringgit. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the government needs to reduce subsidies enjoyed by the rich before reintroducing the Goods and Services Tax or GST. According to a Bernama report, Anwar admitted during an interview with Bloomberg's Haslinda Amin that the broad-based consumption tax is the most efficient and transparent tax system. As to when Putrajaya would implement it, the Premier said it depends on the threshold and that progressive tax policies would be more appropriate when people are living in abject poverty instead of a broad-based policy. In the meantime, he said the government would have to first reduce subsidies to the rich. Anwar said subsidy rationalisation is not going to be a popular decision, but the government has 4 years before the next election. He added that the government has little choice but to do this as soon as possible, with the country's expenditure on subsidies one of the highest in the Asian region. The High Court granted an extension of time to Putrajaya, along with former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad and former Minister Tan Sri Nor Yakcop to file their defence to a suit by tycoon Tan Sri Halim Saad. The extension was granted during case management before High Court Senior Assistant Registrar Niknor Amalina Mat Zaidan. The Attorney General's Chambers, which is representing the government, Mahathir and Nor Mohamad, had filed a written application to seek an extension. As there was no objection, Niknor Amalina granted the request and directed that the defence be filed by October 6th and the reply to the defence be filed by the plaintiff on October 23rd. She fixed November 20th for case management. Halim, formerly the executive chairman and controlling shareholder of Renewal, is suing for losses that he suffered as a result of concerted efforts by the authorities to stop his bid to take over United Engineers Malaysia, which then owned prized assets including the North-South Expressway's toll concession. Malaysian Genomics Resource Centre or MGRC has announced the resignation of its CEO Sasha, Omar, Firdaus, Aamir, Nordin. In its sports filing, the company said Sasha had stepped down to pursue his personal interest. Sasha was previously COO of the company since February 1st, 2014, before he was appointed to the role of CEO on September 23rd, 2020. Prior to joining the company, he was employed at Neuromatics, the previous ultimate holding company of MGRC, for 13 years. In recent developments, MGRC saw the emergence of Renani Group as a substantial shareholder after it acquired a 5.85% stake in July. Renani has since increased its stake in MGRC to 11.2%. That same month, former Miss Malaysia World Datin Sri Jacqueline Ngu emerged as a substantial shareholder with a direct stake of 5.102% following a private placement exercise. MGRC, which intends to change its name to Renani Life Sciences, saw its shares settle unchanged at 47 sen, valuing it at 64.5 million ringgit.